Welcome to the Make It Make Sense podcast, where we make sense of the senseless and learn how things actually work. I'm your host, Yvette Baker.
And I'm Travis Lee.
So take a seat and buckle up. It's going to be an awesome ride.
All right, welcome to episode 1 of Make It Make Sense podcast.
Mims.
Mims, yeah. It's an accidental acronym, but I think it's a really good one.
You can hashtag it.
Yeah, you can hashtag it. I'm sure somebody's already taken that hashtag for something else, but we're going to claim it for our own.
It's ours.
Yeah, maybe Mims Pod or something like that.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We can put it on t-shirts.
Right. Yeah.
With my happy face on it.
Yeah. We'll put your happy face on it.
No,
I don't want. What?
It's gonna be me kissing your cheek.
Oh wow, that's cute.
I love you so much.
Okay. Well,
hi,
you're gonna.
Everybody.
Hi.
We're here. Did you miss us?
Well, I mean, this is our first official episode. You can go check out our 00 introductory episode, and you could find out a little bit. We introduced a little bit about who we are and why we're doing this podcast and everything. But today we're going to get into the meat of our first subject that we want to talk about, that you want to talk about, Devette. I mean, this whole podcast is your baby, and I'm helping you, and I'm along here for the ride and everything, and I want to work hard on this and make it the best that it can be. But this is ultimately...
Daddy.
Jeez.
Podcast,
I hope
daddy.
If we break up, I don't have to pay any child support or anything for this baby.
No,
okay.
No, not this baby.
All right. Well, we need to sign a prenup just in case, because I don't trust you.
Damn it. Well, today, hello everyone. Just in case you forgot, and it's been 2 seconds since the intro, I am Devette B, and that is Travis Lee.
Indeed.
There you go with that Barry White.
Yeah.
So happy Insurrection Day, everyone. It is January 6th, and back in 2021, some people who say they were just being friendly stormed the Capitol, tried to tear it down. They killed some folks, injured a lot of people. Some man with horns, whereas... I don't know what he was doing. Somebody smoked weed in the rotunda, and tried to kill Nancy Pelosi and Mike Pence.
And Mike Pence.
Yeah. I just a little bit. I remember what I was doing. Mm-hmm. I was asleep. 2021 was a hard year for my lungs. I was in and out of the hospital, but. On that January, I was sleeping in my childhood bedroom, and my dad comes running in with expletives, like, "Are you watching what they're doing?" I was like, who's doing what? Like, I was asleep. And I turned on CNN to see all of the shenanigans and tomfoolery. Travis, what were you doing on that fateful day?
I don't remember exactly what I was doing. Some part of my normal COVID routine, which probably involved smoking weed until noon when I felt like I could start drinking. Awesome. Well, I mean, it was
Yeah,
it was the pandemic, and like I was working at home, and it was just like we got to get through this by any means necessary, and I don't remember, but I know that I was glued to CNN for like the next 2 weeks. Like I couldn't
turn it off.
I could not turn it off, and I was just flabbergasted that I was living in America in the middle of an active insurrection. Like an active insurrection. No matter what my political views are or not, that this was actually happening in my lifetime. And this would be remembered, I thought, this would be remembered as a day of infamy forever. You know, that these people would be demonized, and that was the end of all this, and that was the end of Trump's America, and nobody could recover from that. And then here we are.
Yeah, here we are. What is that? 4 years later.
Yes.
Same day.
Yes.
Same actors, really.
Yes.
And
set to get pardoned.
Girl. Girl. Like, same actors, different, you know, like, just a different view of what happened. Yeah. I woke up this morning and I was like, okay, well, gotta get ready to do a few things. I am going to Mayo Clinic tomorrow. We didn't get really a bunch to talk about my relationship with Mayo Clinic, but they are my primary source of healthcare these days. So I have to go up there for some appointments, and I was packing and watching CNN. I knew that they were going to show the ratification of the votes. So I wanted to tune in for that because of our discussion today. And I was holding on with bated breath because there were so many rumors and so many discussions on what could happen. Were they going to actually certify his votes? And, you know, later on, we're going to talk about the 14th Amendment and what could have happened. But it was done with grace and dignity, and, you know, J.D. Vance was there.
Yeah.
Kamala was there. And it went smoothly. No one attacked anybody. The Capitol was not stormed. And it took about, 30 minutes at the most.
Like it's supposed to.
Like it was supposed to go. And so I was packing my suitcase and, you know, looking at the numbers go up, and, you know, it looked like election night to me. So I was a little sad. I thought maybe there was like one last ditch chance that they found some malfeasance or somebody did something, but they call the roll, and
that's it. Procedural.
Very procedural. Very by the books.
Like it's supposed to be. Like it always was before.
Right. But then we have this blip that we're always going to remember. And so today's episode is inspired by an insurrection.
Yeah,
but
so
whoever thought we would ever say that?
Right. It definitely is, and so that's the meat of the episode we're going to be talking about today. Is talking about the 14th Amendment, what we understand about it. I mean, there's a lot in there to dig into. It's you know really about guaranteeing people, citizens of the United States, equal protection under the laws and from the laws. But I mean, there's more in there than that.
Yeah, so much more. And I really want people to understand that, like, we got to go back to the basics. And yes, people think that stuff is boring, but we're going to try to make it fun because I was telling my therapist earlier that there is so much that we all don't understand. And if we did understand it, we would not, as a community, act the way we do. And I don't mean act as in like our attitudes, but act as in how we act about things.
Yeah.
And so this is just one lesson of many that I hope you will just take a minute to consider when you are about to act.
Yeah.
Travis.
Yes.
What is one fun thing you did this week?
What is one fun thing that I did? I've been going back to the gym. So I am normally a gym rat, but for about a year and a half, really, I haven't been going to the gym just because my old gym closed. My old gym that I neighborhood gym that I loved, and it had handball courts where I love to play handball all the time. Is like my main sport that like keeps me active, and I love. Me and my friend Keon would meet like 2 to 3 times a week there very early in the morning and just play super hard and sweat our brains out, and it was so good for my mental health, you know. And I also did weightlifting and stuff like that on the side and everything, but that was my main jam, is that, or swimming, or you know, something like that. And my gym closed because the city of Cudahy sold the property to a Catholic school, and made it into a Catholic school instead of the community like central hub that it was of a gym. So, and probably at a tax-free reduced rate, of course. And so yeah, that kind of upset me. So I don't like going to gyms like, you know, Planet Fitness and 24 Hour Fitness. Those really just aren't my thing. But I haven't been going for like a year and a half, and then I started going in. Now I'm going to Planet Fitness. There's one very close to me, and our mutual good friend Trisha actually talked me into going back.
Trisha.
Yeah, she said I really need to go to the gym, and I want to use your membership. So and I said, okay, well, fine. I need a gym buddy to keep me accountable. And so yeah, for me, the most fun thing I did this week is get in the last 2 weeks is get myself back in the gym, and it's actually been really fun. So yeah,
awesome.
What you been up to?
Let's see. I had fun on New Year's Eve with my friend Justin. Hey, Dr. Roby. And we just watched ER in our jammies and enjoyed some of the Devil's Lettuce.
Yes.
And drank champagne with my older American roommate, my dad.
Yeah.
And then I saw Gladiator 2.
What'd you think?
Oh my God, it's so good.
Really?
Denzel was fantabulous. Yes. I enjoyed it. I mean, you know, there are very few movies out there that are horrible, like just garbage.
Disagree.
You know, Travis, I went to school. I can find the beauty in anything. I mean, I have a very short list of horrible movies, and Dude, Where's My Car is on that list.
Oh, come on. I can think of a million movies worse than that.
I know. Oh, no, that movie is horrible. I could not get that 90 minutes back. The other thing, let's see, did I do anything else? You know, Travis, it's winter.
Yeah.
And
it's winter in Wisconsin, yeah.
In Wisconsin, everybody's got SAD. Yeah. And I will have to worry about if I'm not going to fall when I go outside. And it's cold, and it makes my entire body hurt. So I like to stay inside and binge watch things. So I'm currently, I have watched all of Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
And now I'm watching or ER as most people call it, and it's wonderful. I am thinking about writing a piece on how ER and Grey's Anatomy have been telling us about the healthcare system
for a long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
And how we did not pay attention.
For real.
And then kind of like reference my own interactions with the healthcare system, and how the healthcare system here in Milwaukee tried to kill me. So yeah,
I was actually watching an episode of ER last night too. I was reviewing a pre-recorded VHS tape that I found, and it had the what was it? That was on Thursday nights or Tuesday nights on
Thursday.
It had the whole Thursday night NBC lineup from 1997 on this tape that I was watching.
I got that season.
I got Veronica's Closet on there.
Okay.
I got what Seinfeld, Friends, and ER, and then I got the Channel 4 News and Jay Leno all up on the same tape.
From 1997?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, Travis, we were babies.
I know.
I was in college.
So was I.
We were babies, probably trying to go drink something at a party.
I know.
Oh my God, it's so awesome.
We were 19, 18, 19?
Yeah. Hey, Travis.
What?
One more thing before we move on to the meat and
we got to get to our
potatoes.
links too before we get to that. Yeah.
I just heard, and folks in Milwaukee will know who this is, but Beretta, he's in federal prison right now. They arrested him
Today?
I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but and for people who are from far away, this is a slumlord who owns a bunch of properties across Milwaukee County on the north side and the south side, and he makes them look gorgeous on the outside, and then they are just, shitholes on the inside. He doesn't fix things, and then he is down at, what's that called? Eviction court with hundreds and hundreds of cases all the time because people are withholding their rent and they don't want to pay because their apartments look like just ridiculousness. And they've been trying to get him, and they finally got him. And here's the thing, I do not want people in jail, but people need to be held accountable for the horrible things that they do, especially when they're hoarding millions of dollars and they're got a home with 3 pools up in Mequon. So I hope that the tenants of his buildings get some kind of justice. Because I'm for justice.
He's our shithead of the week.
Yeah, he is our shithead of the week. He is our shithead of the week.
We just made a new segment. It's shithead of the week.
And it is Beretta Properties are the shitheads of the week.
They are.
And so socials. You can find me on Facebook with my government name. Actually, you probably can't find me because I'm hidden. But I will unhide myself so people can find me. You can also find me on Instagram at Jellybeans Mama, or at Catherine Baker, or at the podcast name. All 3 of those. You can find me also on TikTok. You can find me with my government name. And I think, is that everything? Did I say Instagram?
Well, if you wanna email us directly, you can email us to makesensepodcast123@gmail.com.
Yeah, send us some questions. Send us a picture of yourself. Send us your name, and maybe we'll shout you out.
And please remember to just subscribe on Spotify. That'll let you know by push notification on your phone when we do publish a new episode, even if you don't follow us on social media, which you should. But even if you don't, Spotify will let you know if you have your push notifications turned on that we have published a new episode, and you can just click on it and play it just like that, right on your phone, right away. Be
Apple too. Amazon, you can subscribe. All of them. Also, the first person that's new that sends me a friend request on any of my socials will get to pick my song for next week.
And where are you posting those? So you're singing a song before the beginning of every episode.
Yes.
Right.
And so I will post that. It will be posted. It'll be cross posted, so it'll be on Instagram. It will be on Facebook, and it will be on TikTok. And I usually try to post those while Travis is furiously editing the show so we can get it out within a couple days of us recording.
And for our 00 episode, you did Step by Step by New Kids on the Block. And for this episode, it was
Salt and Pepper by Push It, and I am appropriately dressed as a woman who is not doing it, a black woman who's not doing anything. I have on a hair bonnet and a t-shirt that some people might recognize. But yeah, so send me a friend request and tell me I should know your name, and then you get to pick the song
But I'm picking the next one. I'm picking for episode 2. I'm picking it. We're gonna find a hair metal song that you know.
Yes, we're gonna find a hair metal song.
And I'm gonna pick it, and you're gonna love it.
So maybe for episode 3, because or because Travis is picking the next song.
I just need to do one.
Yeah, you can do as many as you want, my love.
Right.
Travis, what are your socials? Because he doesn't really social, but he does have socials.
Just look for Travis Lee Tallier. That's spelled Tallier on Facebook and Instagram. I really only use Facebook. I have an Instagram page. I check it once in a while. You can connect with me there. But mostly I'm just on Facebook. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a non-participant of social media or anything. It's just I don't really do TikTok or anything like that. And I leave all that stuff for Devette and my significant other.
He's gonna start doing TikTok dances with me, y'all.
But I would ask everybody to check out my other 2 podcasts that I do. I do Radio Free Galaxy, which is a pop culture review podcast, and you can find that on all of the platforms. And then starting next week, I will have the first episodes of my Star Trek podcast out. It's called Retrekking, and we review old Star Trek movies and new Star Trek episodes of television shows that are out there right now. We're reviewing Lower Decks, the final season of Lower Decks, and it's really fun, so check that out as well. Yeah, so that's it.
I think we're done rambling on about ourselves. We'll be back in a second with the meat and potatoes.
All right, we'll take a break and be right back. And we're back.
Baby, we're back.
You can blame it all on me, or you can blame it on the 14th Amendment, whatever you want to. But we're going to be talking about the 14th Amendment. And do you want me to read Section 1 of the 14th Amendment right now? No? Okay.
No, I don't. I want you to... No. Okay. So, Travis.
Yes.
What does the 14th Amendment guarantee?
My understanding of the 14th Amendment is that it gives everyone, every citizen of the United States, natural born citizen or naturalized citizen, protection under the same laws. So
equal protection.
Yeah, under the same laws and from those laws as well. And no matter your gender or your skin color or your race or your whatever, you should have equal protection under the law. That's the very simple understanding of it from me. I know there's lots of other little parts of it and details, about states versus the federal government, and then there's that whole fourth section about debt, which is just I don't understand why that's even in here, but we can
we can debate that all day.
Right.
But why is the 14th Amendment important to today?
Today in particular?
Yeah.
Well, today as the day that votes are counted, and not votes are counted, but
ratified.
They're ratified and everything.
State electors.
The electors, all cast their actual votes. Is because there is a section of the 14th Amendment that says nobody that engages in insurrection should be allowed to seek the a Senate seat or Congress or the Senate or the vice presidency or the presidency or any of those offices if you've engaged in active insurrection. And here we are. And
here we are today.
And now there's an actual, amendment not amendment to the amendment, but I mean, there's a section now in the 14th Amendment where, what was it? The state of Colorado was going to try to keep Donald Trump off of the ballot for 2024 And the Supreme Court said that they could not do that, that states can't make that decision. They can make that decision when it comes to state races, but they can't make that decision when it comes to a federal race, correct?
That is correct. And there was one other state that tried.
Yeah.
And it's
somewhere East Coast or something.
Yeah,
right?
It's escaping me right now.
Yeah.
So here's the conundrum. So we have a bunch of insurrectionists. And we have the one who incited the insurrection that is now going to be president again for 4 years. So here once again is something that if we had the knowledge, what could we have done about it? Because I don't think people understand what the 14th Amendment is. Oh my goodness. I don't know why these people insist on texting me. And now, I don't know. Can you hear the beep?
No.
Okay,
no.
Good. It's just in my ears then.
Yes,
awesome. No. So, I am... You know, the 14th Amendment is very complicated. It's not just, no shall state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process, nor deny any person with jurisdictional to equal protection under the law, blah, 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 blah. It goes on, and speak, and legal speak, and, who's ever going to understand that, right? And, it talks about how many representatives should be in each state. And it still says Indians in it. And all, and then section 3 is where it talks about if someone does an insurrection.
Yeah.
So how do we just gloss over that actual part? And why is that not, why are we not talking about that? Why don't we look at that rule?
Yeah. And not just, it says specifically, not just engaged in insurrection or rebellion, but given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. You know?
And so he's going to apparently pardon everybody.
Right.
Right? And he I am failing to understand why some people would be held to this, but not everybody. And it's just 5 little sections. It says the Congress shall, section 5, the Congress shall have power to enforce by appropriate legislation the provisions of this article.
Right.
Well, Congress, hello.
But I mean, the Supreme Court has ended up really, really enforcing it more. I mean, by interpreting it and their interpretation of it, they've ended up, enforcing it or not enforcing it more than Congress has. Congress has taken no action, really.
But you're failing. You're saying one important thing, Travis.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court. It's not theirs to enforce, right?
Interpret, but not enforce.
They can interpret, right? But they can't enforce.
Yeah.
And for them telling the state of Colorado what to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? It is very, very telling to me who is running our country.
Yeah, and I mean, it does all come down to states' rights versus federal rights, and I mean, that's, it's been the difference between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party since almost the beginning, is, what should be legislated from the states and what should be legislated from the federal government, and it ends up getting kind of... for wishy-washy when it just meets anybody's needs. Whoever has the power at the time, and we can get the stuff passed and we can get the stuff through, or the Supreme Court can do it. Whoever has the power at the time is going to be the one that interprets the laws to their liking. And that we are a country of laws and of not personalities and of not, demagogues and things like that. And to see that kind of action being taken in my country is very disheartening for what I thought it was, for what kind of country we were, and how this is not equal treatment according to this entire. It's not just protection.
Yep.
Under the law, it's from the law too, and it goes in reverse, so that people in power and rich people and corporations and things like that should not be exempt from laws that we are all subject to.
Right. So let's take it down to a macro level. So let's zoom out, okay, or in
micro.
Thank you. You and I are driving around and we get caught with some weed. Okay.
Yep. That's okay. A likely possibility.
Yeah, it is likely.
Not that we get caught, but
no,
that we have it.
That we have it. A little bit at least.
Yeah.
And so, I might get let go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a black.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a black.
Mm-hmm.
I'm black, but I'm also a woman.
Yeah.
Right? But you might get locked up.
Because I'm an ex-felon.
Because you're an ex-felon.
Yeah.
Right? But let's say I'm with my friend Jake.
Mm-hmm.
We both might get locked up because we're both black.
Yeah.
Now, here in the city of Milwaukee, it shouldn't happen because the fine right now is $1. So if you possess 28 grams or less, it's $1. But because of the history with that and the county and what they still, you don't know who you're going to get, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if it was if you were with another white person, what might be the difference? We might not get pulled over. You might not get pulled over.
In the first place.
In the first place, right?
Right.
And so we have a set of governing laws. Now, I feel they're outdated.
Yeah.
But because we aren't taught them, right? I can tell you as somebody who has gone through copious amounts of schools at different levels, I had to look it up. I was like, the 14th Amendment does what? And I was like, huh? I don't remember that. I don't even remember all the amendments anyway. When somebody starts talking about an amendment, I have to go and look. The only one I remember is the 13th.
Yeah.
Because that is the one that I have spent copious amounts of time working on, trying to fix what it did to my people.
Mm.
Right? And so I just was taking a look and, looking at this court case and, this set a precedent that is not, it ain't good. It ain't great.
Yeah.
And now, how could they disqualify somebody on the federal level? Is it because they're scared?
Yeah, especially with the presidential privilege ruling also that, came out. It can all kind of fall under one of those, two things. Either they have privilege, or if they did it, you can't affect that from a state level to a federal level, and it almost begs states to leave the union if they disagree. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It almost does. It almost incites. It almost incites more rebellion and disunion between people if there's a state, a blue state, whatever it is, that just says, look, we just as a majority, we just cannot put this person on the ballot or whatever, and it's just like the Supreme Court tells them they have to, and it's just like, what if we just put our foot down and say no? Well, then what? We're just not part of the union anymore, or what's the deal? And this whole expansionist, like nationalist, like mentality that's coming in. I mean, we want to just take Canada for the 51st state.
Oh my goodness!
And
I don't even want to. We can't. We're not going there.
Yeah, well, you know, but I mean.
Yeah, I don't. We are still following laws,
right,
that were written when people didn't have dental,
right,
and didn't have any concept of what the world was going to be like now.
Right, and I'm still willing to follow them until we change them. You know,
right.
I am willing to follow them if they're fair. You know, as long as we all agree upon it, and until we decide to change them, though. You know, and if they're not changing, they should be equal for all, and especially this amendment should ensure it. This is the one that should ensure it, that even if we disagree on it, we all go through with it or change it. You know,
yeah, this is the law that's also going. It could be changed because it talks about citizenship.
Right.
And that's a whole nother whole nother discussion, because this is a president that wants to challenge what makes you a citizen.
Yeah.
And so
right.
We have to start thinking critically about how do we want to shape our communities, our families, and who we are around, because they have been banking on us being dumb. And I and Velma ain't dumb.
And lazy. More so than dumb, just lazy. And that's in my opinion, the one big lacking part of any kind of left movement, is that we don't really have any kind of leadership or organization. And the right has a whole ass clubhouse now.
Here's the thing about the other sides, because there's more than one side, right?
Of course.
The other sides they're organized.
Yes.
And they took a note from the other side, because the left has the tools. They just don't use them correctly.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell a little story. So I love organizing. Like, it's one of the things that I love. And I also love bringing people together who have mutual self-interest. Like, they are interested in the same thing deeply, and they want to do something about it. And what I have found is that when you share the how-to, it is met with resistance. And so if you think about, let me come at it from like a voting standpoint. Mm-hmm. So I can sit down with you and Travis, and say, okay, I need you to talk to 5 people.
Yeah. And
come up with them with a voting plan. And then come back to me and tell me what each person's voting plan is. And then I need you to get them, each of those 5 people, to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And then you come back to me and you say that you couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. And you just try one time.
Yep.
Do you think that's going to work if
No.
you just try one time?
No, especially, I mean, if you're asking 5 people and expecting all 5 of them to do it, no, it's not.
Right. You have to go right back. The ask has to get asked a bunch of times, because you're asking somebody to do something that's out of their norm.
Yeah.
But if you keep asking, Travis, how many times did I ask you to join my team?
Oh, I don't know.
It was a couple times.
A couple times, yeah.
You're like, I just want to work with you. Well, you're going to work with me.
Yeah.
But I need you to be a part of this team because me and you can't do it by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing is that we don't know how to work as a country, as a team. Yeah. Because this group has always been put against this group. And that group, well, my group has constantly, is still the group that's pent against everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And so I really think that, the 14th Amendment it's not a hard concept to grasp because it's equal protection under the law. So we're talking, that's the overarching thing, right? So citizen, your debt, Travis, remind me, I'm losing my thought, but you have all these things, and I have a wonderful graphic that my phone is not showing me, but you have
your life, your liberty, and your property,
right? Your due process, and then there's this thing in here that is supposed to protect us from people who go against the country, but then now we're not being protected. Right. So what are we supposed to do? And so now, what's the next step? And that is what we really need to be thinking about after we remember what the 14th Amendment is supposed to protect us from. And now you can see we're not being protected. Right? So here is, my thought is, what do we do about that? And
do you want to take a break and then get into that after the break?
Yeah, let's talk about what can we do?
Yeah.
And how we might do it.
We've addressed what it is and what the problem is, at least according to us. And we'll take a break, and then after the break, we'll try to get into some kind of solutions about what we can do about this if it upsets you, if it really bothers you, and what can we possibly do? It should
bother you.
It should bother us all, but
We'll be back though, and drink some water, and also stand up because we've been running our mouths for 20 minutes.
Yeah, we'll be back right after this. All right, we're back from the break, and Devette, if all this is really upsetting people, and I don't know, it's upsetting me, and I'm not the organizer that you are. You am.
I am.
We were just talking about in the break here. Are we talking a bunch of gibberish? No, we know how to speak good.
We speak English good.
If all this is upsetting me and upsetting other people, you're the organizer here. Tell us, not just as someone on the left, and not just as someone on the left that wants to fight against the right, but just anyone that just it's equal protection under the law for everyone. And I want to ensure that people on the right have that protection, and I want to ensure that I have it, and people in the middle, and people that are unconcerned with any of it.
Yeah, just anyone. So, as an organizer, I would tell you to get out there and organize, like find an organization, and I can't tell you what organization, but it depends on what you want to focus on. If you want to make sure that people who are naturalized, which means that they come into this country as an immigrant and then they go through the immigration process and they are considered citizens after that, if you want to make sure that they are able to keep that, find an organization that's working on immigration. If you want to make sure that non-white people keep being free, find organizations that's working on that. There are organizations that work to protect the Constitution. But find some place where you can find people who think like you and who are working on strategies to protect the things that are supposed to make us the country that we are. Another example is running for office. Be the change you want to see in the world is one thing. Make good trouble, like John Lewis says. Some people aren't to that point, and I'm not going to say that you can't go out and march and do all of that, but what do you do after the marches? And continue to educate yourself. And there's so many ways other than reading books to educate yourself. You have to just find the right way, because not everything is good for you to educate yourself. People are gonna probably slam me for this, but I'm gonna say stop watching so much Fox News. I would even say stop watching so much CNN. I love CNN. I've been on CNN. John King came to my house and interviewed me. And he's lovely.
But understand that it's entertainment.
Yeah, it is supposed to be entertaining, right? Yeah, but I would start within your communities. Heck, get to know your neighbor. Get to know people who don't look like you. Those are just small things that you can do. Our country is under attack. I called today the season finale of America, because America, come January 21st, America will not be herself anymore. So
I hope not. I hope not.
I hope not too, but America, you in danger, girl. And I know everybody has seen that meme of Whoopi Goldberg from Ghost. But
I would say, I'm not the organizer that you are, right? But I am someone that likes to take an active role in my life, in my liberty, because, through my own actions or whatever, I have had my freedom taken away before in my life. And once I earned it back, I felt a need that if I'm going to be a contributing member of society, I need to find time in my life. I need to find time, even though I'm tired from my job, or I'm tired from my relationship, or I'm stressed out, or whatever is happening. You still need to find time to be a member of your community, a member of your state, a member of your country, and take an active role. And that's not just showing up every 4 years. That's showing up every election that you can. It's showing up for causes. It's more than even just showing up for a march. Like, I don't really even fall in for all the marches and stuff like that, because I just think it's a little reactionary, and I want to take steps beyond that after the march. I want to be the guy there after the march that's saying, okay, we're all mad, we all broke some stuff, but what are we going to do to fix all of this? Because it's more than just showing up for a march. Showing up for the march is very important. We need to, you need to be in front of the cameras, and you need to be showing people that we're angry and we're not going to put up with this anymore, and we need to block traffic. But then after you're done blocking the traffic and everybody has your attention, then you need to come to them with some ideas and some action.
What are your demands? What are your demands?
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's the part that people... I think there are some very strategic marches that get planned, and they have their demands, but then after that, the people who are marching, they don't have any follow through.
Yeah. And
it can't be 7 people doing the work for how many people live in the United States?
Yeah.
What is it? Are we at 1 billion people yet?
Oh no, we're still at like 600 million or something like that.
Yeah, so
700 million.
When I say go to the marches, but then do something after.
Right.
Because if every one of us went to our local senator, our state senator, our state rep, and then we also went to our federal people, and we actually participated in our electorate, because we have that right, Travis? Like, we have the right to talk.
We have that obligation. We have that obligation. In my opinion, it's not Travis, an obligation according to the law.
Remember, Travis wants to. Travis is the. I don't want y'all to think that I'm not a revolutionary, because I am. But I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired, and Travis could tell the stories about all the crazy stuff I've done, and me standing on the steps of the courthouse saying I'm not going to pay my taxes anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I've done the yelling and the screaming, and I can't do it anymore. So I'm going to talk calmly, and I'm going to teach y'all things, and then Travis is going to yell.
I'm going to yell
I'm done yelling, because guess what? White people fix it. And that's, I literally have a banner that says, white people fix it.
Right.
White people do something. Because black women voted at 92%.
Yeah.
And that 8% is disenfranchised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I am always available if people have questions or they want to know where to go, which way to go, who to contact. Please inbox me, write a message on our board, email us.
Makes
Travis,
sense. Makes sense podcast 123@gmail.com.
Yeah. So I hope everyone has a happy Insurrection Day. We do have at the end of every episode we're gonna do a segment, and it's called the You Can't Sit Here.
Can't sit here.
You can't sit here. And it's kind of similar to like what Charlemagne does. It's like the donkey of the day. Like you just can't sit with us. Like I literally have a Mean Girls hoodie that says you can't sit with us. And so this week it is the Supreme Court of the United States of America. They can go sit in the corner. They have ruined everything. The only people that are exempt are, let's see. I am steadily trying to, let's see. It's all the good ones. They can hang out.
Yeah.
But, let me scout this. They can sit with us, but not.
They can share our lunch.
Yeah. Justice Roberts can go sit in the corner. Clarence Thomas, you can definitely go sit
Clarence
in the corner.
Thomas can just go away, please.
He can go away, please.
God.
He shouldn't even be on there anymore. All the malfeasance he had.
Even over Roberts, just like Clarence Thomas can please just go away.
Sonia, you are in our thoughts and prayers.
Yes.
We love you.
Yes.
And then I think it's
Justice
just
Brown.
Sonia. The rest of them can just go. Kavanaugh, he can definitely go sit in two corners. And Amy, she ought to be ashamed of herself. But my Justice Jackson, thoughts and prayers. You're in our thoughts and prayers all the time. Sending you hugs. And I really am just very sad that y'all act the way y'all did. And
but that doesn't mean you should give up. That doesn't mean any of us should give up. You have to take a more active role. We all have to take a more active role. We're taking the time to do this. We're taking the time to do this. This podcast that we're doing here, you know, we have no idea what we're doing, but we're trying to start a movement, and whatever we can do. And join us. Join in with us. Join in the conversation. Leave comments on our episode, whether you like them or not. Like, leave intelligent, insightful arguments and comments, and we will retort. You know, and come back at you. And we all want to have these conversations in more of an intelligent way, and not just be keyboard warriors and then go back to our video games and our Netflix and whatever. You know, like, we all need that stuff a little bit. We all love it, and I love my video games and everything. But like, there has to be time for this too.
Wait.
What?
Travis.
What?
This justice was born in 1936.
Oh, don't even start with me.
What the entire, like...
Don't even start with
what?
me. Yeah.
1936? This one was born in 1939.
I know.
What is happening? This one was born in 1938. Travis. Okay, here's the thing. I am not an ageist, right? At all, by any means.
Nope.
But at some point, mental status exam. You know what my fellow friends and learned people, I think it's time to say goodbye to all our company.
Yeah.
MICKEYMOUSE.
Yeah, thank you all for listening. Please remember to
you.
follow us on all of our social
Like
medias.
and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. And
y'all do what you do. Prayers, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Good vibes. Going to Mayo. It's not anything bad. I just have a surgery that I need to get a scope for before I can have it, and I get to see. Shout out to my Princess Bree. Get to see my friend Bree. I'm excited. She's my adult grown-up friend that I made last year. And Travis, I guess we will be back next week with a new topic.
We sure will.
All right. Good night.
All right. See you later, everybody.
Black